Say hey everybody, Golf House here, and welcome back to the Stack. This is episode 13 on the Fullstack gaming server, and wow, that was interesting. I didn't realize it did that in F5. That was something I did not expect to see. I was going to comment on the fact that it kind of looks like my hair is on fire. I don't know what's spookier, the fact that my hair looks like it's on fire or the way that Guardian was doing its thing. Anyway, when last we spoke here on Fullstack Gaming, we built an Ender farm. Since we last spoke, things have been pretty busy. You can see I've kind of changed up the skin a little bit. I've finally gotten on board with the whole layered experience in the skin department. I think if we come up here, you can see if I take off some of this stuff, you can see I'm kind of wearing a t-shirt on underneath all of that, and then, you know, because nobody is really interested in seeing me with my clothes off, if I put it all back, did I do that right? Probably not. Let's go skin on. Oh, there it goes. There we go. I'm fully clothed again. I'm not fully armored, however, so let's fix that. Since we last spoke, there's been a ton of action going on the server. I'm going to take you around and show you a little bit of that here in just a second. First, I wanted to give you an update on the ocean monument situation here. You'll recall a couple of episodes ago we managed to get this guy over here kind of trapped. You can hear him kind of grunting away. He's still doing his thing. We haven't gone through and opened this up and dumped the water back in, so he's still a little PO'd at us. And I've also been taking the sponges that were so kindly lent to us and drying out the rest of the doohickey. And I've learned some things about that process. Coming through and drying out the rooms that are on this level here, the sponges worked great for that. But when you get down here, now you're talking about areas that are just kind of, well, they're really more just big rooms, and we've run into a little bit of an issue there. If I come over to this side, which is where we started drying out kind of the bottom areas, you'll see I've got all 29 sponges that are still left. I still have to pick up that 30th one that we lost and make sure that we repay our debt there. Yeah, you can see that it didn't do very well because this cavern in here is so big that you put a sponge down and water just fills back up. You can actually see some of what's going on down there. We're also having a little bit of a problem with the fact that since we've reduced the spawning space for these guardians so much, they're all kind of collecting in that area. So we've kind of had to take a different approach. We went back and we got a bunch more sand. And you can see there's sand down here. All of this, well, really, all of this was water. We managed to use the sponges to dry out up here, but down below we had to drop a bunch of sand, and I don't have any milk on me, so I can't show you, but this sand goes about 5 layers down. And if we come out over here, you can just see off in the distance that area that we were just looking at. So if I come over here and do a little bit of parkour, you can see that room again out here. You can see as soon as I show up, I get about 1 million death rays pointed at me. So what I've been doing is I've been coming in, drinking some invisibility potions and some water breathing potions, and then going through and just dropping sand in and cleaning out all of this space. And then eventually we'll have to come back through with buckets of milk and torches, just like we're used to doing, and kind of digging this out. I'm also hearing a skeleton somewhere. I don't know where that skeleton is coming from. I know there's a cave down there. You can just see a little bit of it through the glass there. That must be where he is. I torched it up a little bit, but I didn't really check it, so that's probably where he's camping out. So I was in our nether tunnel heading down to the desert to collect some of that sand. There's a guest aboot. Let's turn you down, sir. Better. And it looks like somebody has found a jungle biome and has built a tunnel down that way. There's a little bit of construction going on in there. Again, I have not seen the video for that yet, so I'm not going any further than that. But as we approach the nether portal, you'll see something interesting happen. And there it is. We have speed now. Nick Nasty has been going through and placing beacons up on the nether roof all along the path of our nether tunnels. The only part that I've found that he's missed so far is right here going around the corner, so I haven't totally taken out those potion dispensers, just because you have to go down a bit of a ways down here before you pick it back up. But I do still have some extra beacons, and maybe we can spare one for that corner there. And there we go. Now we've got the speed 2 beacon going again. If we come down here, if you've been watching Stress Monsters videos, and if you haven't, why not? Because she's amazing. She's got a tunnel going here, going down to several interesting biomes that she's found. I think she's got a mushroom biome down there, a mesa biome, and something else. Flower forest, that's what it is. She's got a flower forest, a mushroom island, and a mesa down there, and she's going to be building paths down there. So yeah, that'll be fun. And then there's the Spawn Town beautification project. A couple of things have been going on here. Sheep went around and planted a bunch of trees to give the place a little bit more of a natural feel to it. And then Pigglesworth has been going through and putting these really neat street lights in. The thing about the sea lanterns, it's really difficult, at least in my opinion, to make really good street lights out of the sea lanterns, just because the green is kind of a weird color for it. But I think that Pigglesworth has pretty much nailed it. I love his use of the hopper there. That's not something I would have thought of. The way that he transitions the fences into the cobblestone to make it look like it's really anchored, that's a good touch. And then of course he slabbed them on the top, not really to prevent mob spawning, because they can't spawn on sea lanterns anyway. They give off light, but that's just like a final touch to the thing that that's really kind of seals the deal and makes it look more like something that was well thought out, which is the kind of thing that he does, as opposed to something that just got thrown together haphazardly, which of course is what I usually do. One thing that we have done, of course, is our record store over here. And if we come over, we can check and see if anybody has made any purchases lately. This is not something that we've been checking up on the way that we should. It turns out that a couple of people on the server, I believe it was Nick and Jay, kind of took umbrage to the fact that our door was kind of off-center. Yep, Jay and Nick. They didn't like the fact that the door was off-center, so they fixed it. But now it's not centered on that. It's just did we get any diamonds? We did get diamonds. 2 diamonds. That means that 4 of our discs have been purchased, and I have no idea which ones they were, because we're not very good at inventory control. But yeah, 2 diamonds. That's a good haul so far. Probably means that interest is picking up in our music discs. We should probably get more of them. And speaking of the record farm, I think it's time we did a little bit of work to it. There's a couple of things about it that we know are not perfect. One, you can just make it out from the edge of the colony here. I would really rather you not see it at all unless you're making the trip to go over there. So we're going to move the whole thing back a little bit. And I've also learned a few kind of tips and tricks just from kind of using the one that we have. I've had some problems with creepers blowing up outside of the water, which punches holes in it, which we then have to go fix, and there's nothing fun about that. And I think we can just make it bigger. So I think what I'm going to do is come over to this other little island. You know, we came over here and kind of built up from this island. I think we're actually going to go over to the top of that island and build up right over by that by that monument that we still haven't investigated yet, but we will in time. Yeah, I'm going to go over there, build it up there, and it's going to be bigger and better than this one is. We can do it. We have the technology. We can make it bigger, faster, stronger, sexier? Probably not. But we can definitely make it better. So let's go do that. It's going to be a whole lot of building, a whole lot of kind of assembling things together. And you know what that means. It's probably time to do some lapsing. Okay, so step one of our project is done. We've managed to build a giant cube in the sky. You didn't see it in the time lapse, but I have gone in and half slabbed the roof there, so we should be okay with that. We should not have any mobs spawning up there. Shouldn't have any mobs spawning over there because of the water, and no mobs over here because of the light. So now it's time for part two, which is to actually build the platforms. You can kind of see a little bit with what I'm planning here. We're going to have 5 platforms on either side of the cube, and they're going to go out basically kind of like this. So let me go ahead and put some of these blocks in the bar here, and we're just going to go kind of along like that, and then they'll go out to about here, I believe. So let's go ahead and fill that in, and then this is pretty much going to be the I can't get up there. Let's just slide it like that, just to be on the safe side. But it's going to be about that size. Now, the way that this is going to work, we're going to put trapdoors in, and I'm going to remember to put the trapdoors in ahead of time before we seal this thing up. The trapdoors will go along here, and then along this edge, and then over here, because we are not bringing it all the way out, there's actually going to be a let me put one more there. There's actually going to be a 3 wide gap here. So this one will be open, that one will be open, and then of course the one in the middle will be open. And we're doing that to allow spiders to fall through. Back in our previous music disc farm, we had a real problem with spiders spawning, and then they would get kind of stuck up in the top of the farm. They would never fall down, so we could never get rid of them, and they just kind of stayed up there chewing up the mob cap. So this time around, I want to give them at least a little bit of a means to fall down. They won't get all the way down into the channel here, but from here I should still be able to pick them off with the arrows. I've also gone ahead. Let's get back up here. You can see I've upgraded the floor a little bit here. We've ripped out the stone and put in obsidian, and that is to protect against creeper explosions. Back in the old farm, we had a problem. You'll remember that channel was only 1 deep. It wasn't 2 deep like this one is, and creepers would end up getting hit by arrows. They would get knocked out back up into here, and then because they couldn't see me, they would get shot again, and since I wasn't in their line of sight, they would turn and get hostile towards the skeleton, and they would take care of that skeleton the only way they know how, by blowing up. Now, if they were in the water, that wasn't a real big problem, but a lot of time what they would do is they would come over here, and as they fell into the channel, they would explode. So they weren't actually in the water, which meant that, of course, they would kind of blow up all sorts of stuff that we would have to go back and repair, which was a huge pain. So I've just kind of taken a few steps to prevent that. Now the channel is 2 deep, so they shouldn't be able to get knocked out of the channel anymore. And then just to be on the safe side, we've coated it with obsidian as well. So yeah, we should be pretty safe here. So now I guess the next thing for me to do is fall in the channel. The next thing for me to do is to go ahead and get these platforms built and trapdoored up, and yeah, once that's done, it's just going to be a matter of kind of sealing off this hole, and the Music Disc Farm 2.0 will be back online. Okay, so the platforms are up, and in building them I realized my roof was 1 block too low for that 5th one, so we had to tear the roof out and rebuild it, but we are all good to go there. We've got 5 platforms on either side. I went ahead and kind of spruced it up a little bit here. Put the shiny pink ones there and the shiny gray ones up there, because when we come down here, let me go ahead and break this real quick, just so let's not fall off the edge of the platform there. There we go. When you stand, go on, there you go. When you stand here, you'll be able to see up. And yeah, you can see a little bit of the edge of the others, but you can see more of these. So I wanted them to look a little bit nicer. And then I believe what we'll probably end up doing, do I have any more blocks? I do. We'll probably end up doing something like this anyway, so you can't really see up there. I guess you can just see a smidge of the second one. We'll see how that goes. We might leave that open, although I think that might, between the water and the fence, that might give mobs a way out. So we might end up kind of slabbing it there. Yeah, I like that. I think we'll stick with that. So now I guess really the only thing there is left to do is go ahead and put in our trap doors. You can see, let me take this out and just kind of turn back around. We went ahead and put the water in on the other layer, and we've gone ahead and put the water in there. So all we really have to do now, I don't have enough, once again, I do not have enough inventory space for what I'm trying to do because my inventory management is horrible. Okay, so we've got a stack of them. What can I get rid of? We can get rid of these saplings. We don't need them lying around. I said we can get rid of them. We're going to pick them back up here as soon as I do this. Yep. Do that. Do that. Okay, so now we've got a stack of 42. That's not going to be enough, but it'll at least get us started. We're going to go in and I think what I might actually do, because the platforms still have pillars up to them, so I may just go over to the top of the building here and kind of dig my way down and trapdoor them that way. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put in some trapdoors, and we'll see you in a little bit. Well, that took a lot more wood than I was expecting. It kind of amazes me really how much wood it takes to make trapdoors, but we've finally gotten around to getting them all, or getting all of the ledges trapped up. You can see up there at the very end, I kind of messed up the placement there. It doesn't hurt anything, and I'm trying really hard not to be OCD about it. So we've got our wall here. I've got it kind of out of the way right now so that we've got a way to get down, hopefully without falling to the bottom there, because that's annoying. So now I think the only thing there is left to do inside the farm is actually go in and break those torches. So let me go ahead and do that, and once that's done, we'll come out, we'll put that wall back in place, and Music Disc Farm 2.0 should be online. Okay, so the torches are out, and as you can see by the entity count, we've got a lot more going on up there than we were ever getting in Disc Farm 1.0. You can see we're rocking almost 40 entities up there. I kind of forgot about this little thing where you kind of have to get yourself at least somewhat far away from the farm in order for it to really spawn up. And I've kind of messed this up a bit, putting the hole right there. But no big deal. We'll work on the deck. So now it's really just a matter of kind of clearing out some of these guys and making way for creepers. Okay, so I've let one Minecraft night and about half of a Minecraft day go by, so almost a full cycle, and we've done all right. We've gotten 3 copies of Wait, Far, Mellow High, Chirp, Strat, and 13. I really need to get copies of 11. We have 1 copy so far back at our base, but we don't have any for sale yet, and my understanding is that there's a little bit of demand on the server for 11, because that's of course the spooky one. Yeah, going through there, we've got some modifications that we need to make. We need to make our little waiting platform a little bit nicer. We also need to move the entrance so that it's not right in front of the place where we kind of collect our goodies, mainly just because that makes it real easy for critters to kind of knock us down this, which isn't really what we want them to do. We also need to go ahead and put our beacons up. I want 2 beacons up there, one that gives regeneration and one that gives off resistance 2. And I want to do that because I want to make that farm at least a little bit AFKable. I was playing around with it a little bit, and it seems like we can make that happen. I did have to use the bow quite a bit. I had about a stack of arrows and I used them a lot, but that was mostly just to kind of thin out the herd a little bit, to get rid of some of those spiders. I think if we turn this into an AFKable farm, that wouldn't be so much of an issue. We also need to make a better entrance. This ladder going up is pretty lame. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a kind of a simple minecart elevator up. We'll rip out the ladders, put minecarts in instead, and then to actually get up there, we're going to dig down. And by dig down, of course, I mean use TNT and blow giant holes into the earth here. And we're going to make our entrance come out through here, because we've got this neat little bay here around the entrance. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have it so that you can just kind of ride your boat straight into the island. There'll be kind of a carved out cave here, which we'll use the TNT to make. That'll get you right under the thing, and then you can hop out of your boat and just go straight up the minecart elevator to get to the top, and then we'll have just kind of a simple water drop to get you back down when the job is finished. That's all going to be for the next episode, though. I'm super stoked. We did have a creeper blow up inside the facility, but as you can see, there are no holes in there. The obsidian has done its job. It held the line, and our 2.0, our music farm 2.0 is functional and so far doing great. I hope you'll join me in the next episode where we go and kind of church it up a little bit. We'll enhance it. We'll make it a little bit better. We're going to try to make it look a little bit better too. I'm thinking of putting some coal blocks or obsidian or something in there in the shape of a record. We'll come up with something. Maybe we'll get some of the more artsy-fartsy people on the server like Yopi to come give us a hand with that. Hopefully you'll join me for it. If you've liked this video, go ahead and click that like button. If you're this chicken, you need to get out of my way. But yeah, go ahead and hit the like button if you've really liked it. Go ahead and click the subscribe button. And if me, making a making a music farm again makes you feel better about your ability to get things right the first time when you play Minecraft, then go ahead and stalk me on social media, because I'm darn near everywhere. And until next time, my name is Golfhouse. This has been Fullstack. We'll catch you later. I really need to learn how to use boats.